Season 54, War number 9. Today we've matched up against Monsters of War, I think their name is. And the bands are Photon, Spider-Ham, Titania, Corvus, and Null. And my team today is Prowler, Kate Bishop, and Silk. And there is so much riding on this war because not only would it be that if I get my solos from this war, I would get my second ever Deathless season, but also if the Alliance wins this war, we will get our first ever top 10 finish, and if we lose, we fall into Plat 3 for the third season in a row due to how we're positioned on the scoreboard. So, this is the most pivotal war we have ever had, and probably the second most pivotal war my account has ever had, because, again, second ever Deathless season. The only more pivotal one is the last war of my first Deathless season, right? So, we start today on Path 5 against this Enchantress, where if you haven't already noticed it, apparently the node is bugged, because whenever I knock her down, I should be triggering debuff immunity. However, that's not actually happening. So that's cool, I guess. I'll take it. I have seen this happen to other players too, but last war I took this node and debuff immunity was there, so I really don't understand the rhyme or reason as to when it triggers and when it doesn't, but it is bugged. That is one thing that we do know, because it should absolutely be triggering, and it's not, so that made the fight a lot easier at least. And then that's my first solo of this war. I do have 7 fights, so 6 more solos, and then we get the Deathless season. Next up, we fight Emma Frost on node 17, or 14, I should say. And this fight I figured I could do with Prowler, because as long as I make my own openings with my Falter, I'll be triggering the knockdown node all the time. And then I just get easy openings to trigger Ebb and Flow, and then do a bunch of damage, hopefully. So I'm not going to have a lot of reliability on my Incinerate debuff, due to her just going immune to it sometimes, and then the Purify from the node, of course. But it's going to be fine, we don't necessarily need it. And there I messed up a little bit. I did my medium attack like I was still inverted, because I just got confused and thought that, I guess in my mind I was like, I'm inverted the entire fight. It's only during her special attacks, of course. No, it was right here where it happened, where I thought I did a double medium, and I actually did a medium and then a dash back. Earlier, I don't even know what that was, but that was the mistake I made. Luckily, Prowler has the funny Falter thing when his specials would get countered to save me. And then I just throw a special one because I know it's unblockable, and then she goes down. So, yeah, that could have been better, but not terrible at all. Next up, we're fighting Negasonic on node 23. I could use Silk or Prowler for this fight. I just decided to use Prowler. It's not that bad. We just need to make sure we get our intercepts on point, and then just bait her specials. Every time that she throws a special, she's going to be power drained and locked, meaning her evade is going to reset. So yeah, there's not too many ways to mess this fight up. I just need her to throw specials and then play into my intercepts, and then we'll be chilling. So here I didn't even go for a Incinerate. Probably could have and gotten some nice extra damage from it, but the SP2 still does some really nice damage. Brings her down to 37%. Have some nice Furies up. I need to go for another intercept. Got it, and then we just keep comboing her. The Ruptures are doing decent damage whenever we trigger them, and then she dies right there after the Relic, so yeah. 4 more fights. We're fighting Destroyer on Path 5, node 32, of course, with Kate. Once again, I'm just going to heal up Prowler real quick. I'm not actually using him for this fight, but I wanted to do that to make sure that he was already healed for my next fight, where I would like my PS1 boost to carry over, just so there's like no chance of that falling off. And yeah, just like that, we activate my PS1 boost, the only one I have left the entire season, so luckily I only needed one this war. And there, that was not supposed to be a parry. I swear I dashed back, but the game registered it as a parry. So immediately, that's a lot of damage I'm missing out, and then we just get this big lag spike. But yeah, that first parry I went for, I was not intending for that to be a parry. I don't know why it happened. And then he drops his SP1, I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. So now he drops it into hard block right after, I'm like, okay, please don't do that again, because I can't let him throw 3 SP1s or he's going to power gain. Luckily, he dies too fast anyway, because I still had the protection down 2 cold snaps ripping, so it wasn't too big a deal, but that was unfortunate for sure. Next up, we fight Domino on node 40. Prowler's pretty good for this fight. I can't actually use my Incinerate because of high energy diets. However, he doesn't necessarily need it. Here I'm baiting her special attack. I didn't want to trigger the Falter because then it would go on cooldown, but it's whatever. I did want to get some Furies before dropping my SP2, so I guess it was kind of a risk I was willing to take. And then there, I waited for it to come back. We got some Furies, we dropped the SP2, we get a crit on every hit, so extra Ruptures. No Incinerate, so no extra burst damage at the end of the attack, but it's not that big a deal. And then I'm going to trigger Dex a couple times to power drain myself, on accident obviously, which is annoying because I want to be getting to another SP2, and triggering Dex just power drains me. But it's okay, we're going to get there pretty soon. Here she does not go lucky, which is great, so I can just double medium into another SP2. And this probably kills her. Let's see. Oh, nope, she's left at 8%. If I could use the Incinerate, she'd be dead from the extra burst damage, but obviously I couldn't do that. Trigger the Falter, combo a little bit, and then she drops right there. It's a little over a minute, not the fastest, but it is perfectly fine, so. We move on to Weapon X on node 43. I have an Odin pre-fight placed on this node from another Alliance member, so we are immune to the Incinerate from Hazard Shift, and then 90% resistance to the Shock from Hazard Shift. So the only big things to worry about is it's a large Weapon X, and then he has Aggression Prowess, which I obviously don't want him to let him stack up. And also, even though you're not really going to be taking a lot of damage from the shocks, I do have to worry about insult to injury, reducing my ability accuracy while they are active on me. So here I go for a naked intercept. Luckily, he's obviously super aggressive in this mode, so he went for it. If he didn't, that would be bad, but I did have an invul, and we are bleed immune, so it probably wouldn't have been that punishing. There I made a mistake. In my mind, I was going to place the Falter double medium into the special 2. However, I forgot in the moment that whenever Weapon X misses, he's going to go unstoppable. So I tried to save it there by like last second dashing back into the special 2. But it was too late because when I triggered the dash back, it still counted as a miss. Or maybe I wasn't too late, but when I was trying to dex, the miss still registered. So I threw the SP2 into his block. But it didn't matter because the Falter, once again saving me, is pretty great. But yeah, that was a little bit of a panic moment, but it's okay. And then the last fight of the war is going to be against this Sasquatch on node 47. We're gonna do a strategy where we get to an SP3, hold it until after his Wrath, and then as soon as Wrath goes away, we're gonna drop the SP3. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to do an SP3 cycle in this fight, but I also want to make sure that I'm safe enough to where he's never going to trigger Wrath during my combos after the SP3, because then he'd go stun immune and I'd just kind of be screwed. So I'm just going to sit at 3 bars of power, wait out his Wrath, and then once Wrath is gone, he's just dead. So because of that strategy, I am kind of praying for an early Wrath, which I don't get in this fight. I believe he triggers it at like 10 charges, which is a little annoying, but you know, it's fine. It's not that big a deal. Here he's at 10 actually, so he triggers it at 11. And then I'm gonna go for a heavy right there, which I might have been able to get hit by that, or at least he'd throw a special attack and then I'd evade it, because I think my stun fell off before my heavy connected due to Wrath, and then the lag spiked, and there my evade triggered. So lovely lag spike, but whatever. We dropped the heavy into the SP3 here, and now Sasquatch is just dead. So yeah, all you gotta do is just wait out the initial Wrath, then you're perfectly safe to do your SP3 cycle with no risk of him going stun immune. And just like that, I have acquired my second ever Deathless season. So, I believe we had 8 or 9 players go Deathless in my alliance, so I wouldn't say it's as impressive as getting a Deathless season last season when it was Secutor, because Decay is just objectively the easier tactic than this one. But I'm still really happy that I've gone 2 seasons in a row Deathless now, especially when I was a player who, like, gave 10 deaths in a season, like 6 seasons ago. So really proud of myself there. And as you can see, here are all my thumbnails of my war videos. Really nice ride to get to this Deathless season. It was an enjoyable season. I still hate this tactic, but at least I could make fun with it, right? And that was kind of my goal going into it, because I knew I wasn't going to enjoy it. Sure enough, I didn't enjoy it, or at least I didn't enjoy the tactic, but I did enjoy the fights I was able to assign myself and get solos on. So as of recording this video, we are still in the war, and again, we win first ever top 10, we lose third straight plat 1, so much rides on this. We are currently tied 2-2 with our opponents, with more fights taken, but obviously more fight durations. So by the time this video is public, the war will be over, and I will put in a pinned comment who won. So I'm just praying to God, man, that we can actually get this win, because this would be so huge for this alliance if we can get it. But it's super close right now. The stress levels are high for everyone. We'll just have to see through to the end, and hopefully our guys play as well as they've ever played before, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for watching the entire journey through this season of Decay. Obviously it's gonna be back for next season, so I'm gonna be playing next season for sure. Without Silk though, because she will be banned every single war, probably Count Nefaria as well, but we can still make fun of it, right? So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.